Hi and welcome to Cheeky Richo's Bacon Garlic Cheesy Pull-Apart Loaf. The ingredients are in the recipe box below, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is get our bacon. Pop it onto a baking tray lined with baking paper, and then you don't have to wash that up, it's clean. Cover it with baking paper so it doesn't make a mess in your oven. Pop it into the oven for about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Bring it out and let it cool. It'll be quite flat by being cooked that way, and all of the fat will have rendered out of it. And we are just going to wipe off that excess fat and discard that piece of baking paper. Cut it into small pieces, pop it into our loaf. Now we've just softened our butter a little bit better than room temperature. Okay, we've scraped all the fat off our bacon and cut it into pieces about the size of a very small postage stamp. And now we've got our softened butter here. We're just going to add our parmesan cheese to that, just grated, finely grated parmesan cheese. Our garlic, don't be miserable with this, in fact it's a garlic extravaganza. Our veggie salt, some fresh cracked pepper, as much or as little as you like, plenty of flavour in that lot. Give it a good mix around until it's well combined. This is going to be like a paste that we're going to smear into our little cuts that we put into our cob loaf. Now we've got some camembert cheese and we have some just tasty cheese. We're just going to grate that. Being careful not to grate your fingers, of course. Now we just slice our camembert into little wedges. It's really quite soft because it's room temperature. And we're just going to poke these with our bacon and our cheese and our garlic butter paste into the little cuts that we make in a random sort of pattern. And when it's baked, it'll all be all sort of amalgamated and just too delicious for words. That's done. Now this is a little sourdough cob loaf. It's actually a parmesan and garlic cob loaf. We're going to just cut almost to the base, not all the way through. We need to have that bottom part still attached, and that will hold it all together when we go to serve it. Just cut it right through, almost to the bottom. Slice this sort of like that, almost like a toast thickness. Now it's going to be a lot easier to put our paste in there now. You can see it's not cut through at all. We just open it out and smear our paste in fairly evenly, making sure you've got about half of our paste used on this direction, because when we go the other way, we'll use the other half of our paste. Okay, at this point in time, if you like, you can just sprinkle, oh, it's a bit juicy there, isn't it? Sprinkle the grated cheese, just a little bit in each cut. And now we turn it sideways and we go on that angle. And the reason that we don't go crossways is because it'll be like a square. We want little diamond patterns, like when you're doing a pineapple or an avocado. Same thing, not all the way through. Hold it firmly. You're going to need a sharp knife for this, obviously, and a serrated knife is best. Don't worry if it wants to fall open, because we're going to be wrapping it in foil and that will be holding it all together. So we just put the rest of our garlic butter in along that axis now. And use it all up. You can make this ahead of time, and if you're taking it to a barbecue or something like that, put it in the host's oven when you get there. Now we're going to sprinkle in our pieces of cheese, our camembert cheese, with some pieces of our bacon. Just keep poking that in. Make sure you cook the bacon first, because otherwise it won't cook within the cavity of the bread. Looking a bit like a car accident at the moment, but it will all come together. You'll have to trust me on that one. Now, as carefully as possible, we lift up our little cob, which is absolutely chock-a-block with all its delicious ingredients, and we pop it onto our foil. Our foil is actually 4 layers of quite good quality foil. Any little bits of cheese and whatnot, just throw them on the top. Don't want to waste that. And then we just bring the sides up, and that will force it all to be held together. Now, at this point in time, you can pop it into the fridge and keep it for tomorrow night, or later in the day or whatever. This is prepared for your barbecue or your party. We're going to bake it at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we're going to unwrap it. It'll be sitting on a baking tray. Unwrap it and allow the top of it to go all crusty. The reason that you have to cover it is because you want it to heat all the way through, and if you put it in the oven for 25-30 minutes, it's going to be like rock hard on top, whereas this way it'll be sort of steamed and juicy and delicious, and you'll have a bacon smoky flavour just sort of meld all down through it, and it'll be delightful. So, into the oven we go. Okay, it's hot and bubbly from the oven. We've just set it onto a wooden paddle. It's already been cut, and what you do is just fold your foil back, and that's a ready-made bowl, and we just pull chunks of it out with our hot bubbly cheese, with our bacon, and have a little taste. Crusty, warm, garlicky comfort food. Have it with a beer, have it with a pasta, have it with a salad, have it at the footy. Thanks for watching.